Our research is titled A Case Study on the Financial Success of Filipinos Who Were Not Professionally Employed Students at the age of 17 to 20 years old in Metro Manila.
Our group consists of 4 members, namely Noriel De Asis, Michelle N. Dulinayan, John Darwin Paman, and Benice TIoyao.
Chapter 3. Our Research Methodology.
The fundamental philosophy that our research used was constructivism because it is focused on how people learn. In a non-professional work, there are lessons that people learn for them to use in their future occupation.
We used a case study for our research method to have an in-depth study about the contributing factors of non-professional work to financial success.
This research is a qualitative research that aims to uncover thoughts and opinions regarding the issue of non-professional student employment and financial success.
An interview was used to give the researchers the opportunity to develop a comfortable communicative relationship with the interviewee, and the questionnaire was used to gather the basic information of the subjects.
Population of the study. There are 2 populations of the study. Successful people who were non-professional working students from public schools and successful people who were non-professional working students from private schools.
People aged 17 to 20 years old are also sometimes considered independent in the Philippines. They came from the cities of Metro Manila with the largest equity because in these cities, there are a lot of work opportunities that provide high salary.
Purposive sampling was used because this type of sampling can be very useful in situations when you need to reach a targeted sample quickly and where samples for proportionality is not the main concern. So since our study is focused on non-professional working students and it is impossible to get the exact number of population, purposive sampling was the most applicable type of sampling to use for our research. Stratified sampling was used for our research to divide the population into 2, which are the non-professional working students who came from public schools and those who came from private schools.
Here are the data collection methods that were used for this study. The interviews started on April 7, 2018 and ended on April 9, 2018. The chosen samples were allowed to suggest the schedule that they want for them to be interviewed. We chose one-to-one interview to observe their behaviors while answering our questions.
The questions that were used in the interview were based on the questions from a study titled Working While Studying, a Follow-up to the Student Income and Expenditure. This questionnaire came from a different setting, but it was also applicable for our study.
The respondents were given questions about the advantages and disadvantages of being a non-professional working student to examine its positive and negative sides and to prevent being biased. Questions about the contributing factors of being a non-professional working student were also asked to prove if the claim of this study is valid or not. 2 data collection methods, questionnaire and one-to-one interview. Next is the one-to-one interview that was consisted of questions that need deeper explanation.
For the analysis of this research, we used Christina Kinlan's 4 stages of analysis. The first stage is description, where the researcher writes what he or she sees. The second stage is interpretation, where the researcher analyzes and interprets what the data means. Here, in the third stage, which is the conclusion, the researcher summarizes the findings of the study and creates proper recommendations. The fourth and final stage is the theorization. This is one of the most important stages of analyzing data since here, we connect the importance of this research to other researches so that we may contribute to theory.
Issues of validity and reliability. The qualitative research aimed to prevent bias even it is merely focused on the financial success of non-working students.
The questions used in the interview are already proven valid by other researchers. Those questions were used in a different settings but were also designed to fit in the criteria of his study.
Purposive sampling was also appropriate for this study because it is focused on a specific type of people, which is impossible to know the population around Metro Manila.
The method of analysis used also maintained the reliability of this study through in-depth analysis. Ethics of the research. The researchers properly asked permission to the respondents through internet message. In the questionnaire was a letter of authorization presenting the names of the researchers, the topic, and a brief explanation of the significance and objectives of the study.
They were allowed to not answer questions that they do not want to answer for certain reasons. They also had a right to suggest the duration of the interview and when it will be conducted.
Proper citation can also be observed in this study to avoid plagiarism.
Chapter 4: Results, Analysis, and Interpretation.
Descriptions and interpretations. Here, we will describe what we see in the data and interpret what it means. The questions above are the questions from our statement of the problem, and below are our findings.
First question, what are the techniques they use in order for them to focus on both their studies and work? As you can see in the table, they practice managing their time properly to be able to work while studying. Some of them use planners and reminds themselves of their goals to be much more determined. Second question, what are the challenges that working students usually encounter and how they overcome them? Majority of respondents took inspiration from others, give their focus on their both schoolworks and job. They stay inspired from their families, friends, and those who are close to them.
To answer the question regarding the challenges that working students usually encounter, our findings show that majority of the respondents stated that it is difficult to manage their time and focus on one task.
Third question, what is the contribution of academic subjects to work? Third question, what is the contribution of academic subjects to work? The table shows that many of them said that no academic subjects help them in the present. Those who stated that academic subjects helped them answered that these subjects were computer graphics related. Fourth question, what are the lessons they use for their present occupation that was learned from their non-professional work? According to the table, majority of the respondents stated that they had a great sense of responsibility through having a non-professional job while studying. Because they learned how to manage their time, they knew what tasks are important than the others.
Question, what are the positive and negative impact of non-professional students' employment to academic progress? Finding of this study shows that working while studying is very stressful because of the limited time they had for schoolworks. On the other hand, it helps to practice time management and you gain helpful experience from it, especially experiences needed when communicating with different types of people. Next question, what are the contributing factors of non-professional student employment toward financial success? The contribution of non-professional students' employment is already mentioned in the knowledge they had learned from it. Some subjects gain in higher position from the company where they work when they were still working students after they graduate.
The non-professional works of students show that it helped them become more patient in dealing with different types of people. Working while studying helped them acquire time management skills, but it also negatively affected the academic progress of some due to stress and their inability to focus on one task. Findings of this study showed that some academic subjects, especially communication subjects and those that are really connected to their present occupation, helped them. Here, in the last stage of analysis, which is theorization, we will show the connection of our research to the review of related literature if we agree to it or we do not. The findings of this study support a part of the study of D.M. Yabarisova that states that students who work professionally get higher GPA than those who work non-professionally. On the other hand, there are a lot of factors from non-professional work that contribute to success. Examples of this are soft skills or communication skills that people learn from their non-professional work. This study contradicts the study of Rajiv Darolia, since according to the subjects, student employment may be stressful, but it did not become a hindrance to perform well in school.
And that ends our research video. Thank you for watching.